Hey guys, have you ever imagined yourself living in the past, meeting your ancestors, exploring ancient kingdoms, and witnessing world-changing historical events? In this video, we're going to delve into some curious historical facts. From thrilling tales of heroism to hidden secrets that are only now coming to light. Get ready to be amazed, inspired, and entertained by historical facts that will open your eyes and your mind. Do you know the most remote area in the world? Have you heard of the freshwater lake with the most shipwrecks? Find out, and many more interesting historical facts in this video. 1. Wow! Did you know that sharks are actually older than Polaris, aka the North Star? That's over 6 times older than Polaris. Polaris is only about 70 million years old, while sharks go back a whopping 450 million years ago. Although, it's interesting to note that animals that we would recognize as sharks only evolved about 380 million years ago. Still, that's pretty youthful in comparison to their overall age. 2. But guess what? For centuries, Lake Nemi in rural Italy has been subject to rumors that it is home to the bones of an infamous ancient shipwreck. Although the rumors have been investigated and even supported by the fact that fishermen have continued to reel in wood, they have always been considered unlikely or exaggerated. Nemi is a freshwater lake, far from any larger body of water, and unlikely to have been the home of any ships. But that assumption was proven false in 1928. Archaeologists under Benito Mussolini actually recovered the almost 1,000-year-old ships. And who did they belong to, you ask? None other than the Roman Emperor Caligula. Caligula had the ships built in the lake as party barges. He would host wild parties and orgies on them, which sounds like a lot of fun, although, according to part 36 of Caligula's chapter of the Lives of the 12 Caesars, linked here, they were definitely awful to attend. But let's take Suetonius's writing with a grain of salt. It's a shame that the boats were destroyed in World War II, though. 3. In 897, Pope Stephen VI ordered the exhumation of the body of the last pope, Pope Formus, and his body was brought to trial in the so-called Synod of the Cadavers. Formus was Stephen's hated enemy, and when his body was exhumed, it was clad in his full papal regalia and put on trial for crimes including perjury and illegal papacy, as historiographer John W. O'Malley writes with some humor. Formus answered the charges as best he could through the mouth of a deacon standing beside his rotting body. His defense was, not surprisingly, judged inadequate, and he was convicted. Poor Formus. But wait, there's more. Stephen was soon thrown into jail himself and then strangled to death. Wow, it was definitely not a good time to be pope. 4. At the end of the 17th century, the Qing dynasty issued edicts to completely prohibit the settlement of people in large swaths of the coastal areas of eastern China. Its purpose was to reduce the power of Ming loyalists in Taiwan, and it became known as the Great Clearance, an absolutely wild name. Shinan County, one of the affected areas, was turned into a desolate, almost completely uninhabited wasteland. But today, it's one of the most densely populated places in the world. Hong Kong. 5. The possible reason the US doesn't use the metric system is because of pirates. In the late 1700s, because we didn't really have a standard unit of measurement, the young USA considered adopting the metric system. Thomas Jefferson, who had learned about it in France, wanted the United States to use the metric system, and after he wrote to France, they sent a scientist by the name of Joseph Dombey to help us get started. 6. And, finally, the oldest Egyptian pyramid, the Djoser Pyramid, is about 4,700 years old. It was built for King Djoser, who ruled for 19 years, but was built by the brilliant architect Imhotep. The Pyramid of Djoser, a step pyramid, looks a little different from the pyramids at Giza. The Egyptians hadn't quite figured out how to make the smooth sides of the pyramid yet. Without Imhotep, the first steps towards today's iconic pyramids might never have happened. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video so you don't miss out on other fun and informative history videos. See you in the next episode.